These are some of the terminologies that you want to share what that means to us, and also maybe you could start off by telling us, although your chief officer is substantially lower than you in rank, you guys have ultimate respect for this person, right? You don't go bossing this guy around, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The senior enlisted guy, and this holds true to any more military organization, conventional, special operations.
Yeah.
The senior enlisted advisor to the commander, if you don't have that relationship figured out, then that organization, whether we're talking about an aircraft carrier or we're talking about a small SEAL platoon, that organization is going to fail.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would agree with you. They have the junior guys have the utmost respect for the chief or the senior enlisted guy, and the officers, if they're good, have the utmost respect for that
They
senior
should.
enlisted.
If they don't understand it, then they're missing. And I think this also kind of ties into something we should talk about from what's the operational value of that. If you're going to pass on a strategy or an objective, you got to be able to let these people off the leash. And if you're gonna respect them for their subject matter expertise, you need to let them off the leash. And just to add to this, I actually had the privilege of meeting a couple sergeant majors in my lifetime in the U.S. Army. I've seen sergeant majors lock majors up. I saw a major who was like he was out of his depth and was talking smack, and the sergeant major, not disrespectfully, but he let him know, listen, I'm talking, shut up.
Yeah.
You know?
There's a guy that I worked with in the teams. His name's Slab, or Britt Slavinsky.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Medal of Honor recipient.
Oh, wow.
And he has this saying, and I think it covers down on so much. So you're never too junior to have the best idea in the room, and you're never too senior to be wrong. Never too junior to have the best idea in the room, and you're never too senior to be wrong.
That's
and
a great
Slab would
quote.
say that all the time, and there's so much that can be gleaned from that. In the teams, there's this thing called commander's intent, and the idea is to tell the more junior leaders in the organization what needs to be done, what the mission is. But a good leader will never tell that junior leadership how to do it.
Yeah. I swear to you, I knew that this was gonna trigger me in a positive way. I don't know how often in private industry, just to put it, a little bit about my world. Traditionally speaking, project managers are never senior managers. They're usually somewhere middle management, right? Mm-hmm. And it's usually a problem, an issue, an opportunity that's thrown over the fence by a senior manager who doesn't have the operational time or interest to deal with it, right? It's a thorn in their side, or a way for them to gain an advantage for themselves or something like that. So there's a purpose behind it. And traditionally speaking, if a project fails, and just so you know, statistics, only 8% of large projects in private industry are in scope, in time, in budget, plus or minus 10%.
Time and budget. Okay.
8%.
Yeah, not many.
And about 20 to 30% of those projects, if they're large enough, are an existential threat to the organization if they fail.
Okay.
Now, if you look at small to large projects, the statistic, and don't believe in a statistic you didn't make up yourself, but it's a good guideline. They say so from small to large, 38 to 40% of all projects are on target, in time, in budget, plus or minus 10%.
Okay.
Now, those aren't. Do you think those are good numbers?
No.
Would you get by with that in the military?
No.